Hey guys, what up? It's Eyes and Edgy back at it again here with another video. This time we're going to be going over, guess what? Big surprise, our Odion deck profile. So we've done a lot in the past couple days, but we've kind of refined it down to this. I believe that this is the best list, and excuse me, I'm feeling a little congested because the pollen season is back here in Portland, Oregon. So yeah, we're kind of overcoming that, but appreciate all love, support, and don't forget to like, comment, subscribe before we start. So, let's get into the main deck, and we'll go through side deck reasonings and some other things as well with like test hands. So first off, we are playing 3 of our Dominus Purge. Great card. I think that still play 3 of right now because like it's a trap, and yeah, people are still playing Tactics. Doesn't turn it on. And people aren't really expecting the Purge, I think, from hand. Especially in the late game when you have a Trap and Grave. It becomes very good because it also destroys. And then we are also sticking with 3 Infinite Impermanents. Also just a really great card. I don't think I'm ever going to cut Imperm from the deck just because of the traps. And the fact that it's very useful going first and second. So I don't think there's any reason to cut the Imperm. And then we are playing our 2 Nibiru. I think this is a good ratio for now, even though it is very, I think Nib is actually very high impact, especially since you're kind of getting rid of the Fiendsmith end board with the High Wave King, which is like, okay, if they get there, fine, but they're not getting the High Wave King, at least if you have your Nib. And sure, they have follow-up and whatnot, but it's like your board breaking isn't going to be as tough with that. So next, we are playing 3 Molcharmy Fulos. Also, obviously, a solid card. I've been back and forth about whether I wanted to main deck this or one of these, right? So, like, a 3 Pirellia instead, or even maybe in, like, the new format, play the 3 Meows. Like, I've been really back and forth about which one of these is the better draw card for the main deck, but I think Fualis is just the best, like, you know, most generic, because most every deck uses their extra deck, right? But I think maybe like in the future for Nats, I might look to side, you know, 1 set of these at least. I may even side 6, right? Like, I don't know. I don't know how important really drawing for this deck is because I haven't really played the drawing cards much. Like, I played Fua, which helps sometimes, but, or not Fua. I've played Pirellia and Fua sometimes, so we'll see. But for the main engine, we are playing 3 Man with the Mark. Man with the Mark, really good. You know, he's just like your main starter, right? You want to see him. You always want to see Man with the Mark. So 3 there, nothing really changing there. 1 Merciless Scorpion of Circuit. Yeah, I don't know. Extender. Not much to say about him. And then we got 3 of your Anubis, the Last Judge. Good doggo. He's very good. Sometimes I've been debating playing 2 just because it's like, yeah, he's your searcher. Whoop, sorry. Like, yeah, he's your searcher for man, but like, how often do you really use the recycle ability? And most of the time you're banishing it with Merciless, so it's like, he feels okay, but I guess in like the more pure version, he's way better with pure because you're always having traps in grave, so like he's a little more alive that way. Yeah, I found that he's not really as alive if you're running the Fiendsmith variant, but he's still good to play. And then we are playing 1 Apophis the Serpent, 2 Swamp Deity, and then our Anguish and Embodiment of Apophis. This is like your standard trap package, right? So you've got your Embodiment here, your Apophis the Serpent, your Swamp Deity, etc. Yeah, this is your trap package. Kind of standard, so don't really need to change too much about that, especially since you get your free search for the vanilla. And then for the gross engine with Fiendsmith, we are playing the 1 Lurie, the 1 Lacrima, Crimson Tears, the 1 Paradise, the $70 card, which is kind of ridiculous, and then we are playing our 3 Engravers. So We did pick up 2 Plat Secret Engravers, so these look pretty nice, not going to lie. And then we're going on a 3rd, but yeah, so 3, 6, 7, 7-card package in a 43-card deck, not bad. And then for the cash engine, so we did decide to throw cash in here. We are playing 1 Fenrir, 1 Unicorn, 1 Wraith Soth, 1 Set Rotation, and 1 Birth. So this is kind of like, this is the cash package for this deck. So my thoughts for this ratio is that kind of the only point you're playing, only point of playing this is because you want Set Rotation, right? Set Rotation is more engine. This, and most times what you're going to give your opponent, I know QCR, but whatever. But like if you have this, or if you have engine in hand, if you already have the field spell and you don't really care about the 3rd one, since the 3rd one really doesn't come up, the 2nd one does. You can just like set this to your field, give your opponent the field spell, start with this, search Unicorn, search Birth. Granted, like that is playing into Droll, but at that point you don't really care about Droll if you're using the field spell, right? So like if you activate this and search Unicorn, they Droll you. You can just use the other field spell and set your 1 layer of interruption. So like this makes 2 layers of interruption itself, essentially. And then obviously you have Fenrir. Like Fenrir just kind of for like grind games, I guess. So if you see one of these, or I'm sorry, if you see Unicorn or the field spell, and you don't feel like, you want to search the Unicorn, then you can just search Fenrir, right? So like if you go Set Rotation, search this, and just search your Fenrir, and then boom, you can search it for follow-up, and just, if they remove your Fenrir, then like you have Birth to revive one of them. So I just think the Kashtira package is really good and probably worth running in a heavier, like in a heavier sense, I guess is the best way to describe it. Like I think, like if you run a heavy Kashtira plus Fiendsmith engine, it's really good. And I might even start sacking some of these 1-ofs that I have. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention here. So part of the engine, Treasures of the Kings, obviously, right? You get your treasures. You get 3 Treasures of the Kings. I want to show off the rarities because I got them CR. You know how it is. And then the 1 Terraforming, the 1 Temple, pretty standard. The 1 Pot of Prosperity. The 1 Call By, because we like sacking our opponents, and then the 1 Triple Tactics Talent, because we still like sacking our opponents. So this is indeed a Pharaoh's Rare. Has to be. Yeah, and that's it for the main deck. That's a 43-card count, and I really like the count right now. I may end up like substituting some of the non-engine possibly for like more cash stuff. Maybe like throw 2 more Fenrir in there and just cut all 3 of the Fulos and put them in the side. I don't know yet. Just options. And then main deck, we got SP Little Knight, Link Spider, Silhouette Rabbit, Moon, Requiem, Sequence, Agnum Day, Fiendsmith Desiree. Shout out to Alex for pulling this for me. I got my QCR Desiree. It looks really nice. So we got our Desiree, we got Necroquip. That's it for the Fiendsmith. But obviously, as you can see, Fiendsmith takes up quite a lot of space here. And then you take the 2 Apophis Serpents. The 1 Serket, I'm not giving this up, I swear. I think Serket's still great going second, especially with the ability to, like, if you see Apophis engine, if you need help, like, clearing boards or OTKing, he helps a lot still. And then the 1 Sky Crisis, the 1 Caesar, and the 1 Chaos Angel. This has come up every time I've been able to get Fiendsmith, but, like, I've rarely gotten a Chaos Angel. Like, it's maybe consider cutting it, but I know if I run into, like, monster effects, it's still pretty useful, right? Like, you can't just beat over it because it's maybe too light, so, yeah. Chaos Angel I've been really reluctant about cutting, but Typhon probably comes in handy more if I don't see, like, any engine. But I have a lot of interruption, so that's why I go, like, slap Typhon on board. And then for my side, I am going 2 Thrust, Triple Tactics Thrust, along with this package, right? So like 2 Thrust plus Featherstorm and Harpy's Featherduster and Lightning Storm. Harpy's Featherstorm. We'll call it Featherstorm. Yeah, so like this, I think is a really good package. I might switch to like 3 Thrust on the side, but for now 2's okay. This is for like, you know, Mermail. You gotta respect Mermail for going first because you have Droll on the side as well. But you know, for like Memento, Mermail, like graveyard decks, gotta respect that. That being said, I'll probably switch, and I have been thinking about this lately, but the package to access that is you have to play this guy, right? So like him and Granite, you have to play, which is like a small payoff for being able to like set this in 1 turn win. So highly considering just throwing these 2 back in here, just for like the flexibility of being able to set anything, as well as like if I'm using those package, I probably want to play the Verdict of Anubis as well, just because like he works well in the main deck. So I've been highly considering throwing this package back in here because of that. That is the start of that, and then we also are playing 3 Droll and Lockbird naturally in the side though, because I think it's not that effective against Malice. But I don't know, maybe my thoughts will change and I'll just replace one of the hand traps with Droll. But I think I like it for now. Like maybe I'll replace the Nib with 3 Droll. Who knows? But I think it's fine for now, especially at like locals. 3 Lancia because you want to cover the Malice matchup. Obviously going second. I'm not playing Chaos Hunter because I don't feel like it's needed, really. Like, if I'm playing against Malice, sure, I'll just side, like, the Lancias and the Drolls in. Like, both, right? And I'll still have, you know, Fua. So I'll still have access to Fua. I'll still have access to Nib. So, yeah, I mean, I'll probably take the Imperms out, maybe the Purges, but the siding patterns you'll have to practice with, and let me know what you guys think. But usually those are the siding patterns that I do. And then our 1-Winged Dragon of Ra, Dangers of Divine, and the Temple. So like these, what I like about these is, I think I've already explained this to you. You can watch my earlier videos, but essentially you'll have consistent access to Winged Dragon of Ra with this engine, and like you can fuse off your opponents and then just like OTK pretty easily. So yeah, that's that. So let's get into some test hands, shall we? Let's do it. All right, so let's get into some test hands. We're gonna do like 2 test hands here, just to kind of show what scenarios might look like with the deck and how they present better opportunities for us to just like go second or play in boards, or even just like going first boards that are better and more versatile. So yeah, we have thrown the Heavenly Prison, or sorry, Lord of the Heavenly Prison in here. So we'll see how it goes, right? All right, let us see. So 4 cards here. Not awful, made with the mark, sick. So it's actually a pretty good hand, right? Good hand going first and second because you've got layered interruption for your opponent going, if you're going second, and you have extenders going first. So really good hand. So with this one, we're gonna start off with by normal summoning. I mean, like we don't need to use a normal summon quite yet actually, if we wanna bait like an Ash or even a Droll. Like we go Terraforming. So let's just go Terraforming here. Terraforming, we're gonna search our treasures. We're gonna go ahead and activate the treasures. If they Droll here on res, it's okay. It's whatever, you don't really care. You go treasures effect to set. You will be setting your Apophis the Serpent. Serpent gets set, and then you can set your Temple of Kings that you just so happen to have in your hand. Doesn't really need to be anything else. And then you can search for your Circuit. You can, like, without committing anything, you could just normal summon, I guess, Man still. You can go Man effective, Foolish, or add. And if they haven't added yet, or if you haven't Foolish, you just search for follow-up, right? Like if you don't already have things. And then, like, you can go special summon, Circuit. Like, you already have your Temple of Kings, which is kind of ridiculous, right? Actually, I guess with Man, since you're going to search with the spell trap anyways, the correct search probably is honestly just Verdict of Anubis. Like, you don't need to do anything special if you already have that. So, like, with this, you're going to search treasures. With him, you're going to search your Verdict. And here you can do some fun stuff, right? So, you've got later interruption already. So here you can go, like, if you really want, without committing anything to these two, right? You can just activate your Temple of Kings. You can go ahead and go link 2 to your Moon, and then you can link that off for Requiem effect, right? So your Requiem effect into your Lacrima. You go Lacrima effect to dump. You're gonna dump your Fiendsmith Engraver, shiny boy, Engraver, and then you can go, like, the idea is that you kind of want Engraver to get back to your hand, right? Which is okay. Like, if you do the Fusion Summon combo, like, you can really cook. But, yeah, like, you just want to get kind of Engraver back here by shuffling Closed Moon. And then you go Requiem equip with your Lacrima. And this is the route if you don't want to play Nib. Then they have to Nib here, right? So, like, if they Nib there, it's whatever. You can still set, like, layers of interruption. You have Purge, Nib, and your, like, Spell Trap plus board wipe. But that's only if they exactly have Nib, right? So, like, you don't lose to it. It hurts a little bit, but you don't lose to it this way, right? And plus, like, after that, you can still make the fusion. So it's kind of crazy, right? So, like, let's just hypothetically say, let's just say they Nib here, right? Like, let's say you Nib, you give me a token, blah, blah, blah. They have a Nib, right? I go, oh no, anyways, okay, activate Serpent. Place, I activate the turn of a set, right? Now these two are still dead because I used both of their effects already this turn, but it's like, it's fine because then you can just fusion these off into your Divine Serpent of Apophis, and then you can Divine Serpent of Apophis, reset. So now essentially what you've done is, with still 4 left in hand, through Nib, with the Fiendsmith engine, you're not really worried about anything else, and you have a Spell Trap negate plus board wipe for them, one-sided Regeki. You've got a Dominus Purge you can activate in hand. All else fails, you have a Nib, plus you have follow-up. You have Apophis the Serpent, 2 face-up negates, Reborn, as well as the ability to send with Lacrima. So, like, if you time it right, you can, if you really need to, you can just nib the board and then Lacrima and, like, Lacrima effect after it gets nibbed to send, and then you have just better follow-up than them, essentially. So, yeah, I think that shows a good idea of kind of what the Fiendsmith engine offers, especially with the ability to just threaten things, right? I think that's what Fiendsmith offers a lot of, is just the ability to say, hey, I'm about to remove your board, or I'm about to protect myself from the rest of your plays. You better do something or else I'm winning, right? So that was combo number 1. Let's go on to combo number 2, shall we? Maybe, like, without seeing the absolute nuts, because that was, that hand was pretty good. So let us maybe try something else here. All right, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This hand's probably more like what you're gonna see on average. So, like, unfortunate, but also not the worst because you have call by, right? So, like, kind of your brick helps this go through. So like at this point, you can still make like full Fiendsmith engine if you want, but kind of what makes this hand rough is like these don't even count as interruptions, right? They're more like toolboxy cards. So it just sucks drawing into this, but at least you know your Fiendsmith stuff's going through without getting drolled because you have call by. So you can go engraver effect to search. Like if they ash it, you just call by it, right? So you search for your $70 card, $70 card. They go droll on res, you go call by, hit the droll. And then you go like tracked effect, probably going to be adding an engraver, actually. Well, yeah, because you have a Lori in hand, so it's kind of weird. I think you just, like you do have a normal actually, so let me think about this. You have an additional engraver, you can special summon from your deck, but I guess it might make more sense to foolish it instead. So like, I think we just add the engraver, and then we discard our Lori. And then we go Lori, effect to summon, you link it off into Requiem. I just put it back here, right? You go Requiem effect. Requiem is going to special out your Lacrima. Lacrima will foolish your third engraver. So now you've got 3 engravers out of your deck, which is like here. They could do multiple things, but I think the best thing probably, like it depends on if you want interruption, right? So what you want to try to do is to get, like you have a send Fiendsmith engine, but you have no interruption, essentially. So it's gonna be tough, but you're gonna have to go engraver, shuffle back your Lori, right? Here you can go, and honestly, maybe it would have been better to normal summon the Lori. That way you still have the engraver effect to like draw one card. Could have been better, maybe. Like I guess you're taking a chance to draw one card at least into the engine. So that is an option. Here, like you have multiple options, right? Like you can go sequence, fusion into Desiree, and then do your Desiree stuff. So you like at least have Desiree plus like a body. It's not awful, but it's not great. That being said, you haven't committed your normal summon yet, right? So like you've just gone effect to search, and then you know done all that. So like technically you could go Scorpion of Surcat and search here, which might be the best option. You know, like. You don't, like right now you're just putting them on playing through literally just Fiendsmith engine. You have no interruption. So if you really feel like that's not the solution here, you can for sure just like tribute these 2 off and normal summon. Or sorry, you can't normal summon or set this. I lied. So here you're going to have to go with your Fiendsmith line. So you're going to have to get Sequence and Agnum Day and then Desiree into play. And then just like play Desiree control essentially, right? Yeah, so not a great hand, but that's how I'd play it. And like again, this is the advantage of Fiendsmith because this is better than nothing. Like at least you're having 2 interruptions on your opponent's turn versus maybe 0, like maybe a hand trap or 2 if you were playing pure, or even like just board breakers going second. So it wouldn't do anything going second. One last one here. Maybe get a better example of like an averaged hand. Because we had a great hand and we had an awful hand. So surely this next one will be average, right? Okay, this is probably actually fine. This is one of the cases where I would be okay with starting with Wraiths off, right? Because I have like interruption grave, and like interruption on field. So I'd probably be okay with going Wraiths off here. So I'd start with Wraiths off. You can't even see Wraiths off. Awesome sauce. I'd go Wraiths off effect to search. Like if they don't droll, I think it's just better to go Unicorn here because you have treasures maybe. That being said, like Fenris just is another layer of interruption on field. So like it just depends on what you really want. But I would go maybe Fenrir here. And if they droll, they droll, but I think Fenrir is the correct add. And then if they don't droll, awesome. You go Fenrir effect, search your Unicorn. And then after this, you can go that to grave. You can go treasures here. And then you can go treasures effect, setting your Apophis the Serpent. Then you can set your purge, and then you go effect, search. This is a little more like it, even though you already have your Lord in hand. Like, I'll just explain the Lord combo real quick with this package. So like you go man, normal summon man effect searches, Temple of the Kings or a spell tribe that mentions it, right? So you can either go treasures or temple. Honestly, probably going temple, since you're not getting access to the other guy. So like you go temple, activate temple, you flip summon and set from deck, right? So you flip, set from deck, and then you're gonna go overlay. Normally this is what you would do. You go overlay Nick Giant, Gallant Granite, and then add him. But since you already have him, you don't need to do that. So like at this point, you could just like do your normal thing where you're flipping this and then resetting them to get another layer of interruption. But at this point, they probably have nib, right? So like you're probably putting them on having the nib if they haven't done any interaction at this point. So the only thing that kills your board is nib, and you want to protect your Fenrir there, right? So you're at 3 summons. Your next summon should be the final summon. However, again, not really necessary at this point. So like, yeah, it hurts if they get rid of your Fenrir. It doesn't kill, right? So I still think at this point I would rather do this. So I'm going to rather do this, and I'm playing in the nib. I don't care. It's fine. I'm going to go into Link Spider, and then for my 5th summon, I'll make them have nib, right? Like I'll go Silhouette Rabbit to set, because like at this point you're trading really well. It's like, okay, they get rid of Silhouette and Fenrir, which is fine, but then you're getting your set of your multi-interruption tool, right? So like you're setting Statue of Anguish pattern regardless, and you have like called by set. This is going to get summoned. You have a purge, you have a face up negate, you have this, which you're going to set your spell negate with this, which is just really insane, right? Oh, can you even see that? There we go. So anyways, yeah. So like that's the board. So like nib really isn't an issue playing through this deck. It's kind of just like pushing through early interruptions. So having the extenders to be able to push through and like make some sort of board out of being interrupted twice, I think is just really important. So yeah, that's it for the deck profile, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed that, and let me know of your thoughts and comments and anything. What do you think of the deck profile? And stay tuned for more. We'll try to do some live duels at some point. And yeah, thanks for tuning by, guys. Thanks for stopping by and tuning in. Catch you later.